Hi, Leslie. Leslie makes some awesome cookies, you guys. If you can twist her arm to send you some cookies, kudos. It is fucking cold outside. I'll tell you that right now. I went outside with fucking 6 layers on, okay? I about froze my dick off to go get a bag of weed. I'm not shitting, man. Fucking it's cold outside. There's so much snow on the fucking ground. It's insane. I haven't seen this so much snow. I don't even know when. It's probably been 10 years since I've seen this much snow up here. Ask Leslie Craig. Leslie Craig is awesome. He gets a 10 from me. Craig gets a 10. So if that counts for getting him some cookies. So this little piece, I just kind of chill and talk a little bit about electrical magnetic impulses. You're welcome, Craig. And what the hell it really fucking means, I guess. I'm trying to figure out how to put these things into a more simple understanding. Everybody that I tagged in this video are what I deem as critical thinkers. People that are able to question and come to their own conclusions without being led around on a fishhook. And what I mean by a fishhook is an emotional tether. You're not believing something because you're afraid to believe otherwise. You're standing in your truth because you know your shit. I left home very young, and I've always considered myself outside the box. I never, did not, ever consider myself boxed in. I've always been outside the box, kind of like watching the world and never really being in it because I felt like it didn't make fucking sense to me. It never made sense. Ever. It always felt off and odd. And because of that, I never really wanted to play. See what I mean? So my background comes from sales and marketing in a variety of different ways. Everything from collections to sale of cars, mortgages, currency notes, bad debt, buying and selling of debt. People didn't even know that was a possibility. The things that you don't understand because you're just flat out not shown things. And that's the same as lying. Not telling something to someone is the same. Omitting it or leaving it out of the equation is the same as lying. There we go. So what they've done is they just never taught you. They never taught certain kinds of mathematical understandings for your mind. And what this did was left you with this void feeling because you don't understand the reality that you're living in because the mathematical understanding that you were taught in school left you in a linear, two-dimensional, barely into three-dimensional forms of thinking. Without picking on anybody, and you look at it critically and analytically without emotion and without prejudice, and you just start looking at the numbers and things, look around. Who's not chemically hooked on something? Who's not chemically dependent on a prescription medication of some kind? Okay? It doesn't matter if it's pharmaceutical or if they're getting it from a dealer on the street. Who's not chemically being altered because of some sort of manufactured substance? Whether it be caffeine, alcohol, opiates, doesn't fucking matter. Look around. Look around your neighborhood. How many people aren't drunks, hooked on drugs? Look around. See the heart of what I'm telling you. Who's not chemically dependent on shit? Now, next part. Yeah, exactly, Randy. You're getting it in your food. You know, there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. Yeah, it is in food. It's in water. It's in the air you breathe. There's things you can do to protect yourself. You can't even breathe, man. If you realize the crap they were spraying in the air, you'd never leave your house. You're a fucking cockroach, and they're crop dusting for cockroaches. They treat you like you're a cockroach. When does a pill ever fucking cure anything? I'm speaking to the heart of the matter in your mind and your reason. Think about it. When has anyone ever been cured from a pill? When has anyone been cured from any kind of pill? Doesn't matter which one. Tell me one that gives you a fucking cure, that cures you, that makes you so you're all better and you don't have to take medicine anymore because you're cured. So tell me which pill cures you. See this? Do you see what I'm showing you? It's the right question. It's the right question. You know, we have a hard time communicating with our neighbors to our left and to our right. We're so fucking plugged into technology now, we don't even know who our neighbor is. The people that call them Christian, themselves Christian, do you know who your neighbor is? Do you even know their name? Can you knock on their door and ask them to come over for dinner, or you live right across the hall from you if you're in an apartment? You know, do you know who they are? Or are you trapped in your fucking cell, playing video games, trapped into playing fucking cell phone, social media, chasing trinkets? You've been cut off from humanity, and you've been left in a reliant state, relying on a monetary system that is getting ready to fall over and implode on itself through hyperinflation of currency. It means the value of the market is going to go through the roof and just, it's gone. It's gone. We're right there. We're right on the brink of it now. And if you don't even know who your fucking neighbor is, who are you going to ask for help? So those are a couple of things I want to put up front, but this wasn't really what I had in mind on this share here. I want to talk more about situational emotions. When you're in a situation that you don't find comfortable, you can give yourself excuses that people won't find objectionable so that you can leave. You have an errand to run. You don't want to take a shit in her bathroom. Something. A neutral reason to leave. You're in all control. Man, it don't make no matter, and man, never mind to me, my friend. I lived outside 10 fucking years. It's just a day in the park to me. Just another day. I don't even have an ID right now. I haven't had one in 10 fucking years. I'm just, I'm just a peanut, you know. When it goes down, and it'll be time to go to work. But what I really want people to understand is a lot of our fights happen from an inability to communicate with each other. We can speak about ourselves and our problems and our existence until we're blue in the face all we want. But we don't listen to our fucking neighbor when they're speaking. We don't know how to listen. We don't know how to listen to people when they're speaking. Really listen to what they're saying. And you're not taught to. You're not taught to listen. You're really not. The highest paid job in the United States is a salesperson. And you should really ask yourself, why is a salesman's job the most paid position? Why are they the highest paid people? Why? Why are salesmen the highest paid people in the world? Why is that? Because they make everything move around. The house doesn't get sold unless the salesman sells it. There's no car to be built if the one on the lot doesn't get sold by the salesman. Nothing moves without the middleman. Nothing moves in commerce without a middleman. That's why the middleman is the highest paid position in the world. Communication, ability to listen, and not just talk, but to listen and to understand what the fuck somebody else is saying. And not allow personal feelings to interpret what they're saying. Not to have any prejudice or judgment. Just allow them to speak. You don't have to feel any kind of way about the words somebody else is saying. But you should give them enough respect to say what they're saying. You don't have to feel any kind of way about anything. You don't have to express your feelings in any kind of way at all. And that's the very heart of Christianity. That's at the very heart of it. To love your neighbor as yourself. Because you are your neighbor. Your neighbor is you. What's not an atom? Everything's made out of them. Aren't you one? So the very minute you're starting to feel some kind of way, it doesn't even matter if it's positive or negative. It doesn't matter. You lost. You already lost the game. You already lost the game because you're judging. You're defining. You're defining something as good or bad. Well, that's your ego. That's your opinion based on your interpretation. Do you know everything? I don't think so. You don't have to feel any kind of way about anything. You understand what you're seeing. You speak on what you see and what you know. You don't have to feel any kind of way. You don't have to feel insecure because you got a lesser of a truck, or your jeans aren't as cool as a person. So that's fucking stupid shit. It's disgusting. You got fucking neighbors sleeping in the street because you want trinkets from China. You think you're free, and you think you're all about humanity and equal rights. If you spend your paycheck at Walmart, all you're doing is endorsing slave labor. You're encouraging slave labor. Walmart thrives on slave labor. They're paying those people $1 an hour and bringing their products into a free market trading platform. And you think you're going to be able to compete? Where'd your economy go? Out the window. Why? Because you couldn't compete with slave labor. That's why. Left side, right side. You think it really fucking matters? These problems have been existing longer than you or I have been alive. How many people go back that far and look? If you don't know where the fuck you came from, you're not going to know where you're going. If you don't have where your start point is from, you don't know where you're going. You don't know nothing. So you don't have to feel anything. It's your choice. That is your free will. To choose, to define, to judge. That is your choice. You think your life is shit and all the people in it are shit? Well, congratulations, you're right. Because that's your judgment, and that's exactly what you're fucking living in. Because that's what you think it is, and that's what you feel it is. So that's what's going to come about. Because that's what you feel, and that's what you think. And that's your fucking choice. That is your choice to feel that way. It doesn't matter what you're in. It doesn't matter. This is a fucking game. You're here to experience whatever the fuck it is you're here to experience. You chose the life you're living. It's your job to figure out why you chose it. Why do you want to experience the self that you're experiencing right now? Why? Why did you choose that one? That's what you're supposed to be figuring out. Don't worry about all this other fucking shit and what everybody has and don't have and what you don't have. Focus on what you need. Fuck the rest of it. Quality of life versus quantity. It doesn't make sense to buy things you can't afford. All you're doing is giving up more of your soul, more of your time. You're trading it in for material goods that are pretty much immaterial. You are. You're bartering with your soul. You're trading your spiritual essence, your soul energy, into currency, money, for stuff in the store. It's a fucking game. And then they tell you on the TV what the hell to buy. And they got some fucking mind slaves on there telling you what to buy. And chances are half of them are getting paid to tell you to buy that shit. Or they're fucking child rape mind victims. Yeah, you heard me. Child rape mind victims. So they got child rape mind victims with mental strings telling you what to buy. And you idolize these fucking people. They're no better than you. They parasite off of you. They feed off your time, your energy. If you weren't giving it to them, they'd have nothing. If you weren't giving away your soul time for their fucking shitty satanic bullshit, they'd have nothing. The whole fucking empire collapsed. They'd have nothing. If you're not buying their tickets, if you're not buying their movies, if you're not drinking their fucking Kool-Aid, they ain't got nothing. They got no control over the current then if you don't want none of their shit. If you don't feel any kind of way about the things that they're doing, they got no emotional attachment to you. So then you're in this world and you're not of it. The interpretations of the Bible that you were given are deliberate. They're not truthful. They're designed to keep you in traditions. They aren't even Christian. Not one religion is teaching the word of Christ. Not one of them. You're all following false fucking dogma and indoctrination. You fucking start looking around, and you can start seeing that every religious text is controlled and printed by 4 printing companies. There's only fucking 4 mass printing companies in the world. 4. 4 of them. That means textiles, education books, school books, Bibles, all that shit is controlled by 4 printing presses. 4. For the whole fucking world, and you need to really think about that. Yeah, I ate 6 of those cookies of Leslie's, and woo, I was walking sideways. Woo, that was fun. I came up with some pretty good art the next morning. You don't have to feel anything. The battle is here. The battle is here. This is the war ground. Are you going to be positive? Are you going to be negative? To the left side or to the right? Are you going to serve the sun? Or are you going to serve the moon? The sun and moon. Soul is the sun. Your soul connection to the moon. Sun and moon. Solomon. The energy inside of you tethers to the sun and the moon. Solomon means sun and moon. It's 2 words ran together. Solomon. Solomon. It's the sun and the moon. Keys. Red energy and blue energy. Red energy is masculine energy. And it's a square as far as the symbol or icon with an X through the middle. The box with an X and down the middle. That's the masculine form of energy. That's a symbol for it. And the triangle is the female form of energy. I was actually going to do something kind of different. The ones I had today made a little. All right, I'll keep that in mind, Leslie. She says the ones I made today have a warning label. All right. So I'm going to show you the female expression of pi. Okay. And then I'll show you the male expression of the same thing. This is some interesting stuff. So the reason why 13 is so honored in so many religions or in the occult is because of sonic geometry and its reference to the center point. And when I'm talking about that is when you go back to the Bible and you look, Moses, he established a covenant with God, and it had 12 pillars, sandstone pillars, white ones, around a black center stone. And this symbol or act was in representation of the people of Israel. And biblically speaking, people are Israel, not a place, not a physical place. They're not physical. Israel did not have a physical landmass. Okay, so the tool I am using right now, I gotta get a chalkboard so I can do these live so you can see me while I'm using this. I don't use a spirograph. I don't use a compass. I just use this. That's it. I don't use nothing else. I use this and my noggin. So when you're dealing with 12, the personality of 12 is 3. And that's because 1 plus 2 equals 3, obviously. So, but the interesting thing when you talk about geometry on the number 12, what happens is when you're looking at the masculine and you're looking at the feminine, you can take 4 triangles and create 12 points. Or you can use 3 squares to create a 12-pointed shape as well. And this is why it's so important, because they refer to it as the balance where feminine and masculine meet in numbers. It's the first position where 3 and 4 both go divisibly equal in numbers. So you look at the numbers 3 and 4, and they don't both, they're not the common denominator in any number until you hit 12. They both go into 12 evenly. So like I said, so this expression that I'm showing you is using triangles. I'm not going to go too crazy on it. I'm just going to put down the triangles and see that like how this is working. And the more you do this by hand yourself, you'll have a better understanding. So if this type of work really, get a protractor, do it yourself. You can listen to me talk about it all you want. Until you physically do it with your own hand and your own eyes, you won't understand this until you actually start doing it. It's just like doing anything else in life. You just don't understand it until you go out and fucking do it. So this right here is the feminine concept of 12 points, a 12-pointed shape, and it's only using triangles. There are no squares in this. I didn't go to the center point at all, but now I'll put in the center ley lines. So this is your female expression of 12 with the 13th point in the middle. And through this work, I come to start figuring out different things, and through sayings and metaphysical expressions, old wives' tales. They were clues. They were fucking clues. They were metaphysical clues, because your ancestors were Roman slaves, or are Roman slaves, and we were not allowed to keep a written history. And anybody that did, like my forefather Saint Jerome, they were executed. They were burned at the stake. They were labeled as heretics. And to speak heresy is literally, it means to speak the truth. So it's one of the concepts I came up with. And the realization that the highest point of sound and the lowest point of sound, where the two of them would equal the middle. The high point and the low point sum the point in the middle. And I realized through that thinking was that the middle point was a point above all the rest. It wasn't below, and it wasn't equal to. It was a point where no one else could reach to it, but it was also in the middle of all things. So it was a point above, but in the middle to all things. This is what I was coming to understand through this. So by doing it this way, you see the numbers are falling and going down and around to the left. 12 to 1, 11 2, 10 3, 9 4, 8 5, 7 6. The way these are positioned, that point in the middle equals 13, showing you a fractal. And if you look, there's a wheel that has appeared around. I didn't put that in. That only happened from all these lines crossing. Look how perfect it is. Now, if you look at this picture and you go on Google and you go investigate the Mayan calendar and come back again and look at this picture, keep this in your head, you'll find that their calendar system, their soul calendar, which was a lunar calendar because the moon is the sun, everything has been twisted and turned inside out. The moon is the sun, and the sun is a reflection of light that is cast from source in the middle, which is the moon. What you call the sun, or what we're told is the sun, is actually light casting from the center of sound, which is the moon, because the moon is center of source. So that was the female expression. Now, just on the back side, I'm going to go around because the starting dots soak through, so it's perfect. I can just put it on this boat. And these shapes, I've just done this so long, it's quick. Now that's a triangular female expression of it, right? So now I'm going to do the masculine of the same amount of points. We just don't think right. We don't think spherically. We don't think dimensionally. And numbers are being given to us in a linear sense, which is reducing our ability to think and problem solve and visually figure things out for our own selves. We don't ask no questions. We think it's not even what we think. We're afraid to know. I literally think people are just afraid to know, or they don't want to know things, or they're just lazy. Either any one of those answers is, to me, absolutely disgusting. square one has one more lines than the female. Just oh man. And that's the masculine. See, it's still a spiral. It's spiraling into the. It's spiraling out from that point. Spiraling out from. So you see how there's squares. These points are squared in. They're boxed. It's just the way it happens when you're putting this out. So it's squared. And then you look at this one, and all these are points. See, there's no square on the outside edges. Points. And to get this shape to happen, you're skipping 4 positions and dealing with these points 30 degrees high. You're skipping 4 positions. 4 to get a feminine, you're skipping 4. To get the masculine, you're skipping 3 lines. It's backwards, 4 and 3. All this math is percentages or fractorals in reference to pi, or how it relates to a circle. Each individual number represents a degree of pi, and that degree of pi will express the shape of that vibration. And the vibration will express the intention of the positive, negative, and neutral of the subject matter that you're working with, so you'll know the state of it. Is it a positive? Is it a negative? Is it a neutral? You'll know this just by the color code of intention without even interacting with it at all. And it can be found in a person's name, time of birth, everything. Everything will define your electrical personality. There's only so many personality types. There's 7 billion people. From a life of sales, I can tell you that most everybody acts the same. There's 12, 13 basic personality types. Change the eyes, change the color of the skin. Everything's the same. You start looking at it generically. We all live. We all die. We all want to have kids. We all want to have family. We all want these things. They're ingrained in you to want those things. You don't want anything any different than your neighbor does. You want better for your children. You want safe for schools, home, clean food, clean water. Belief in something that's true. We all die. We all get sick. We all suffer. What's the difference between a 4-year-old in a car accident and a 90-year-old? To which one is the experience more terrifying? Why do you think that is? Is it because of experience? A lot of times I catch people, they don't have enough confidence in themselves for this kind of thinking and this kind of work. But the funny thing is, when I start showing it to them, they come to the right conclusions. I don't have to show them. I just give them the chance to figure it out for themselves. And a lot of times people will come up with the answer and they will second guess themselves. Never second guess yourself. You already know the truth. You need to trust yourself. What do you intend to do? Are you intending to do good? Then that will be what will happen. Are you intending to do bad? Then that's what's going to happen. It's your choice. And it's your choice how you feel about the things that happen. You don't have to feel any kind of way. Christians do not feel with emotions. They merely speak on what they see. They don't feel any kind of way about it because it is what it is. When you feel, you're judging. And you're not supposed to judge anything as a Christian. Now go look around. Who's not an emotional, neurotic, selfish, egotistical fucking mess? Who's not one? Who's not chemically hooked on something? We don't investigate. We don't do homework because we assumed that our leaders are truthful, but when have they ever told you the truth? Your teachers don't even know what the truth is because they used to be you, sitting in the same chair, receiving the same education you're receiving. They're not allowed to tell you certain things. They give you a controlled, whitewashed version of history. They don't tell you the truth about history. You wouldn't be worshiping and sitting in their churches if you did know the history of things. You would not support them in any way, shape, or form if you understood it all. You probably wouldn't even leave your house. Sit down. Critically evaluate what it is you know. Make a list and say to yourself, what the fuck do I know? What can I say? There's no change in this fact, in this truth. Nothing I can do will change the outcome of this and make it a different answer. What is fucking true? What stands the test of time? We're not even taught what it is we're walking on. You have no understanding of the soil, the sediment, all the different layers of rock, how everything grows under the ground that it is you're walking on. We know less about what's underfoot than we do in the sky. Some questions for your mind to critically think about. When have you ever seen a picture of the Earth? I mean a real picture. Not some computer-generated image, paint by number done on a computer, sold to you as a picture of the Earth, printed in your textbooks and presented into your classrooms everywhere in America. When have you ever seen a real fucking picture of the Earth that wasn't twisted or distorted by a lens, a fishbowl lens, or produced in a Hollywood underwater tank? So when have you ever seen a real picture of Earth? and not some computer-generated CGI image, would you actually be able to tell the difference? For the women that are watching me, you're the ones that are under attack the most because you're the strongest link in the family home. The government goes after you directly through consumer ads, telling you to be a man, telling you have to do this, you have to do that, you got to look some kind of way. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to feel any kind of way. It's your choice. You choose to feel. Okay? How many women work for the state? How many women work for the school departments? How many women are taking children out of their homes? How many females are working for government versus males? Women, look at it. They made you jobs. They created jobs so they could hire you. I want you to think about it. They created and invented departments specifically so they could hire women. Just employ them to control your time. And it's not even about your time. It's about your children. It's about controlling your children's education. Are you teaching your children? No, you're not. You're too busy taking other people's kids and you're not raising your own, so nobody's kids are getting taught. Think about it. Women want to be mad at men. If I smile, I kindly like to refer to the fact that men reflect their mothers most. Women are the educators of the family nucleus. If you don't like how men are behaving, it's because of their mother. Source. So they act like their mothers. Think about it. So while you're hating on men, you really should be hating on yourself because you're not teaching your children who become men and women later. And then you're mad at the men who didn't get taught by their mothers nothing. So whose fault is it really? You abandoned your home and tried to take the man's position in reality. That's what you did. It's not your fault. It was done. It was done by design. It was done during World War II. It was done through the women's right to work and all this other crap. It was only done because they needed cheap slave labor to build bullets and bombs in their weapons departments. They needed people to make weaponry so they could kill people. So they got women to go to work for cheap labor so they could build tanks and bullets and bombs. That's what you helped them do. You helped them in their war effort. And you gave up the control over the education of the family home. And you can just watch in your head and go back every 10 years and watch. You can watch the decay in the family home. 30s. Look in the 30s, 20s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Just watch it rot. Fucking rot. There's no female character in Walt Disney cartoons. Where's Mom? All their cartoons are around a concept of there not being a mother in the reality or in the picture. Dead, abandoned home, gone. No mama. Even in Dinosaurs, classic during the 90s, right? That TV show, Dinosaurs, little baby dinosaur. Not the mama. There's no mama picture anywhere. Because they have removed the understanding of female current of energy of creation out of society's view. They didn't not tell you about it. I just didn't tell you it was there. Deliberately. So it leaves you in a reduced mental capacity. You're only running half speed. You literally are becoming de-evolved because of this disconnect. This understanding of free will of choice. There's 3 choices, not 2. You don't have to feel positive. You don't have to feel negative. You can sit in the middle of the road and not feel any kind of way. That is a choice. It's a game. There's nothing you can do about any of it. You don't own nothing. You don't control anything. To think so, that's an ego. That's an illusion. You have no control over nothing except how you feel about what's happening. That's it. There's just stuff happening. Atoms moving everywhere. What's not one? What's not a vibrational state of water moving? What's not emotion? Don't shave the head, man. I'm growing my hair in because it's a receiver. You know, I've been working on it. I got a haircut. I haven't cut it in 2 months. I'm just going for it. I'm gonna go. It picks up on ether frequency. Your hair's an antenna. It is. That's why you can feel when people are staring at the back of your neck and giving you a fucking eyeball. All that shit. Yeah. You got an energy field around your body. And you can channel it. You can direct it. You can use it. You can tap into that energy. It's around you. This understanding of this, the more you understand, the more you believe in what you know, the more resolve you'll have, and the more faith you'll have. Because faith is not religion. Faith is an understanding of what you are and how you relate to the picture and your connection to source. That's faith. The understanding there, that is faith. Your personal relationship to source. Whatever you want to call it, I don't even care. Religion is not that. That is somebody's opinion. It's somebody's ego. Mostly dictated by dictators in a region, which gives you your religion. And then it waters down into your education. Everything I tell you now is being taught in schools in other countries. In other countries, they're using these concepts. They're using these concepts to run their machines, to run their cars, to run their factories. It ain't costing the fucking people nothing. Your government doesn't fucking care about you. They want you to die. You're a fucking mouth-breathing cockroach. Oh, yeah, they gave you a fucking pay raise? Okay. How about the 30% inflation on food that they don't count? Or the fucking utilities that they don't count? How about the things that cost you, right? Cost of living? They don't count food. They don't count utilities. They do that shit on fucking purpose so they can keep jacking that shit up. You think that fucking pay raise was good? Okay. The $20 fucking pay raise for the Social Security people, right? You lost $12 in food stamps, non-taxable money, and you gained $20 taxable money. So you profited $7 after you lost $12 in your food stamp benefits, and the other portion went to your rent because your rent went up. So really, Social Security just moved around. It went to Section 8, and now you lost it in food stamps. So you didn't fucking make anything. It was a big hokey doke. Stupid. Fucking bait and switch. You don't have to feel. I get up here and I act all crazy to make you feel. I do it on purpose to show you why you're feeling some kind of way. Why are you getting all emotional and shit? I'm just a little fucking peanut. Look what I'm doing to your mind. Stop that shit. You're acting like a 2-year-old. It's disgusting. Everything's fucking rigged, bro. That's why I don't play. That's how you win. You win by not playing. If you chase, nothing will fucking chase you. If you chase, if you give chase, nothing will chase you. You fucking sit still, you're not chasing nothing, and yeah, everything's chasing you. Isn't that fucking funny? You sit still, and everything's chasing you. You fucking run, and you can't find nothing, and nothing can chase you because you're never where you're supposed to be, because you couldn't fucking sit still and just wait for shit to come to you. So you're out churning and burning all this energy. I'm fucking pretty crafty for a guy without even a fucking GED, huh? I don't even. I know I got it when I was 21, but I mean, I only did it because I wanted to get out of my jail cell. I was trying to get out of fucking lockdown. I was trying to go to like a class, like, and I took the pre-test, and they just, here's your GED. I looked at it, it said 97 percentile. I was like, what? I left school when I was 14, and I didn't take that test till I was 21. I scored a 97 percentile. All right. Fucking rocket scientist. with a GED. No. But I scored flawless in reverse engineering, and that's literally because of the way my eyes and my mind work. I can still frame motion of sound in my mind. I can visibly slow it down to a fucking still frame, pause it, and walk around in that picture in my mind, and I can see it. And I can paint it onto a piece of fucking paper.
Hi, baby.
Into a visual.
Love you.
I can turn what I see up in here into a visual on paper. Love you. Like, so I showed you the male and the female. Now, when you take both of those patterns, the 4 pattern and the 3 pattern, you get the harmonious balance. I hope I'm pronouncing that word correctly. You get the harmony. You get the balance. And that's this. So this is the resonance of male and female vibrations inside of this ratio formula. It's showing you the positive and negative and how they work together. But when you start realizing that there's no zero 120 is just a fractal state of 12, but they're both fractal states of 3. 120 is 3, and 12 is 3. 21 is 3, 30 is 3, 39 is 3, 57 is 3. You see? All these numbers are just fractal states of pi, and it's qubits. These are old words. It's referring to spheres and rings and dimensional understandings of how this works. Thoth calls it the realms of understanding. Understanding. Not outer standing, not outer space, understanding. And the understanding is the vibrations that create the energy shapes, table, chair, car, whatever. It's all atom. It's all atoms moving. The sound wave dictates the vibrational state of the shape. Because sound comes first. It's the base. That's the first thing that happens when you're creating the shape, is the thought of it, then the sound of it, and then it becomes physical. I'm going for the fro. I'm Rastafarian, man. I'm going for the fro. I'm going to grow it, and I'm going to rock it. Just so people can see a ginger with a fro. You know? A copper blooded. I'm going to go down to the tan shop. I'll go on the sun. I'll go get tanned up. It's the middle of winter. I'll go down and tan up, and I'll look like a blonde-haired Mexican with red. My hair's got all kinds of red in it when I get tan. It's crazy. It's red, brown, and fucking mutt. What's up, David? Hey, Richard. Yeah, all you guys. Look, I also had you. You guys are the thinkers. You guys. The ones that got tagged in here, and everybody else that just came in. You know, if I didn't tag you, it was nothing personal. There's a lot of fucking smart guys. No one's stupid. No two people have all the fucking information. Okay? Nobody does. That was the whole point of how this was set up. We were forced to work together in the beginning, and we forgot our neighbor's name. So yeah, it took away the name. It took away the sound, name of things. God is a title, it is not a name. Lord is a title, it is not a name. Father is a title, it is not a name. They took away the sound, name. This is what they did to you. They put God, Creator, into a non-personal relationship status. Mr., Mrs., doctor, lawyer, teacher, form of address, position, status. That is not a sound name. That is not the personal sound. Yeah, the lion is the head house of the water, Aquarius. for people who are listening in the United States, you don't know your own culture. They don't teach you your own history. They teach you heritage of other parts of the world because they don't want you to know your culture. They don't want you to know your history. The questions to be asking are, what was the name of this landmass 1,000 years ago? What was the name of this place 2,000 years ago? The name of the United States of America, which is only 235 years old, what was the name of it 2,000 years ago? It's the right question to be asking yourself. Another good question is, what the hell is the Meredith Declaration? Meredith, Meredith, Meredith Declaration. And why does it look and sound an awful lot like the Declaration of Independence? Because it's a plagiarism. The Declaration of Independence is actually a plagiarized document based on the Meredith Declaration. Little piece of information for you. Also, another piece of information for you that you don't find every day or you think about. The United States has two flags. Not one, it has two. It has a peace flag and it has a war flag. Which one do you think we're flying right now? I'll give you a hint. It's not the peace flag. Our country's never not been in a state of war. Go look around. Our country's never not been in a state of war. Exactly. And when it comes to Yahuwah and Yeshua and all these things, ego is spelling. Ego is literally spelling sounds. When you're spelling sounds, you're defining how it's spelled. Think about that. You can spell sounds any way you want to. So when you're spelling the creator's name or sound, you're actually assigning and interpreting and defining the sound. And the sound was caused by a consciousness that never wasn't. So spelling is a form of judgment. It's a form of definition and defining the characteristic of something. So when you spell, it's an action. Spelling is an action. Casting, writing, authoring. You're vibrating. You're causing to manifest onto a plane of existence, a piece of paper. You're writing characters that are vibing and imprinting into reality. You're committing magic when you write. Magic is sound transmutation. Sound transmutation is cymatics, is sonic geometry, sound transmutation, sound levitation. Magic is alchemy, and alchemy is sound transmutation. Understanding the resonance and the vibrational state of mineral matter, the personality, the color of intention, the resonance, and the frequency of each mineral elemental state. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth stated that when you knew the color and sound of resonance of all things, then you knew all things. So when you know the sound, name, the resonance of this lighter, this mouse, this bong, you understand the sound waves and how they operate, then you know everything. It's all on what you intend. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. It's what you do that defines you. It's what you say, not your material possessions, not what you wear, not your job, not your name. It's what you decide to do, what you feel for, what you choose to define as good or bad. The devil's not playing a game of, he's not playing a straight up game at all. It's not how to lie to you. No. It's what can he make you believe. And if you've never been shown the truth, then what's right? What's wrong? If everything's controlled. Don't know. You don't even know what you don't know. You don't even fucking know what you don't know. Yeah, exactly. Highway to hell, stairway to heaven. Stairway means going down. Highway means because heaven is underfoot. You're walking on the roof. You're not on the floor. You're magnetized to the ceiling. The sun's not shining down on you. It's shining up on you from the center of source. Catch you later, Craig, man. You're running a fucking rat wheel, and the moon's the monkey in the middle. You follow? Halo. You're fucking running on a halo, and the moon is in the middle, and you're a monkey at a moon key. Add a O to money, you got moony. Crazy people are lunatics, Luna, and they speak lunacy. See that? Lunacy. They see the Luna. And then you look to the school system, and they're mechanically making mankind work with the right hand and condemning people that work with the left hand. This is a criminal investigation of quantum mechanic level. Look how fine tooth I fucking went over this shit. When I'm showing you the little fucking things they're doing to you a little bit by bit, and it adds up to a really big fucking case of a whole lot of shit. Your perception of color and light has been turned upside down. They taught you that white was all color, but it's not. It's a negative. White is the highest vibrational state of mineral matter. That's where you get carbon diamonds. When you shine a flashlight into a diamond, the light does not absorb into the diamond. It rejects the light upon impact, and it causes it to shatter into fractals. And that's why you get the little sparkles of light, because it's not absorbing the light. It's rejecting it and causing it to disperse. Black is the sum of all color. So therefore, white isn't even a color. Exactly, Michael Lippy. Sun does not shine. It's a transformer to sound. Exactly, Kitty. We are literally walking on sunshine. Yes, walking on sunshine. Hello. Lucy and the sky with diamonds. Well, this is the Lucy's the mother, the female. That's referring to Lucy. And you start looking around at all these cultures. Doesn't matter. ISIS. You get scared. But you go look. That's a name for the moon. That's an old name for the moon for one part of the world. That's all it is. They're acknowledging the moon. The Hebrews acknowledged the moon, and their soul calendar was a lunar calendar, which is a sun calendar. And the Mayans, moon. Moon, 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 moon. In the Grand Canyon, you can find a temple dedicated to Isis or the moon. It doesn't matter. Just understand it's the moon, the sun and moon. It's a battle between people that worship the sun and people who worship the moon. And it's only the higher state is to recognize this is going on and not do anything. That neutral in the middle. You really can't do much about anything. So you're not going to feed them. Because that's what they're trying to make you do, is feed them with your time, with your energy. You feed them. You physically feed them. Spiritually feed them. Think if you've seen Monsters Incorporated by Walt Disney movie, right? That whole industry that those monsters worked in was all about scaring people so they could contain the energy of their fear. Monsters were trapping the energy of children screaming in batteries, and they were using it to run their fucking city. Think about it. And at the end of that movie, a child laughing caused that city to have a complete meltdown. Like an EMP blast went off. Go watch Monsters Inc. Smoke a bong. Go watch that shit. And just start listening to what Christ said. He said the left-hand path was for children and fools. Fools. He put them in the same class as children. I'm not twisting anything, okay? I'm giving you a literal understanding of what was coming out of his head because he was speaking from an understanding of using Pythagorean mathematics. He said the greatest is the least is the greatest. I fucking saw the way he spoke. I know what he was speaking from. He was speaking in analogies, comparing it to this. When you take the greatest of things, the circle, 360, and divide it against itself, you get 1. The greatest is the least. When you take the least and divide it by the greatest, look at that. This is what he meant. When you take the greatest and divide it against the whole, it is the least. And the least is the greatest. Mm-hmm. The smallest thing is 1. And divided against the whole is 360. See that? And the greatest becomes the least. Flip flop. This is what he meant. I didn't do that. I just understood it. Because it's being hid from you deliberately. The Bible is full of physiology stories. There's a lot of truth to it too. And it's your intention that will guide you through. What do you intend? What do you want out of this? What's your point? What do you want to experience? It's your world. And it's created on your vibration based on what you think and how you feel. And those things are directly impacted by your education, what you know. You look at the world based on your education, source, the amount of information you have. Your world's going to be this big, or it's going to be this big, or it's going to be this big. How much do you know? It's your choice. You can be small, or you can be big. What do you want? What's stopping you? Afraid to ask? Afraid to know? Afraid to be wrong? Afraid to be looking stupid? Why are you afraid at all? Were you born knowing everything? If you don't fucking ask questions, you're not growing. You're dying. You're not learning, you're dying. If you don't learn anything, you're fucking dying. If you don't experience anything, you're dying. And that's why right there. That's why I started doing this a few years ago. It's because my life was based on a life of experience versus a life of in the classroom. I have 22 years real life experience at 36. I've produced and grossed and spent millions of dollars. I've gone millions of miles. I've been in thousands of hotels. I've been in many different state parks. I've been in prison. I've been homeless. Made bad choices, just like anybody else. But I got a fucking story. And it's mine. I ain't paying to watch it on the TV screen. I lived it. Which Bible am I reading from? This one. This is my Bible. That's front cover of my Bible. Notice that's the Triple Crown of Consciousness on the front cover of my Bible. That's Solomon's crown, the Triple Crown, and the Solomon Sun and Moon keys. The Sun and Moon keys. And yes, it's a Bible. This one's about 75 years old. Look at those ley lines in that art. I'll teach you guys to see the shape of things. You see my shapes? You see my sound shapes popping out at you? How about now? Oh, there's a picture. This Bible was printed, copyright 1947. It was printed in Hawthorne, West. This was printed in Hawthorne Printing Publishing in New York City. This Bible, I don't read much anymore anyway, because when you get to a certain point, you're going to start understanding things. One, anything you do can become a repetitive condition, repetitive behavior. I'm going to sit down and do this every day at 6 o'clock. I'm going to read from 6 to 7 every day. I'm going to schedule. God don't like fucking schedules. That's fucking ego. Does not like schedules. Don't worry about that shit. You can only live right now. You can set those things, but if you're there, you're not. God does not like you thinking you're going to decide and you're going to be where you... No, you get there when you get there. You'll get there when you get there. You'll make a good effort. You'll get there when you fucking get there. Doesn't like people who sit in a pew every Sunday at 9, symbolizing eating flesh and drinking blood, ritualistic occult behavior. Be careful what you symbolize. Yes, I heard of it. My book here has 88 books. This Bible has 88 books. What I can tell you is today's Bible only has 66 books. This book has 88. The personality of 88 is 7, which is a seal of perfection. And 66, the personality of that is 3. Just little clues, Why does this one have 22 books in it? And 22 is the number of opposition. It's 22 missing books. And there could be more, like you said. We really don't know. And to be honest with you, the way they looked at those types of things, books, who decides what is a fucking holy scripture? See, that's like deciding who's crazy and who's not crazy, and giving the crazy guy the pen. You know, who decides? That's where I'm at. Who decides any of it? And a lot of the times, a lot of things were just people speaking in their fucking mind, and then those things were agreed upon. They were agreed upon by the people. Or their eyewitness testimonies, witness accounts, people speaking what they saw because they believed in being a witness. They had a higher state of morality and integrity than anybody that walks this planet for the most part, based on my personal experiences. I don't want anyone to feel any kind of way about that, but that's just the way it is. There's more shitbags than not, and more stupid people than smart. This is the land of idiocracy and mediocrity. And no child gets left behind, and everybody gets an A.
Lighter?
Do you need a lighter?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Thanks. Watching a funny movie.
Yeah.
It's old school.
Mike, my brother. I love this guy. He makes some fucking statements, too. Mike Murphy, kudos, brother. You're getting... I like how he makes people think. And, you know, when you want to pass some information that's hard for people to take, because it's going to shatter their reality, don't tell them. Give them the right question. How do you fight a question? How can you get mad when somebody's asking you a question? It's a neutral point in communication, because they are putting down their ego to listen to your question. And you can tell them, I got a question for you. And the information that you want to give them, present it in a question form, so that what you're wanting them to understand will be the answer to the question. Sounds mad, doesn't it? But it works. And then guess what? They will ask another question. And another one. And you did your job. What's important? What matters? What's relevant? It's all open for interpretation. And it's all based on what you feel it is. Craig's great. Pascal, I mean, I don't try to force my knowledge down people's throats, but by using pictures, it doesn't leave anything open for interpretation. Straight to the fucking point. It's a pure, pixelated image transfer of what the hell I'm talking about. Yeah. It's 8:18. Fist bump! By the way, if you didn't know, that's my birthday. It is. 8/18 is my birthday. And I was born on the 81st year. So that's 81 backwards. And we laugh because we see that every time we catch the clock at 8:18 in the morning and 8:18 at night. Like fucking every day, it's like clockwork. And you look at it, 8 and 8 is 16, plus the 1 is 17, and 1 plus 7 is 8. It's fucking mad. In Egyptian, the female form for the moon was Maya. 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 And Yeah, yeah. And Matthew's Me'atiyahu. Me'atiyahu. That's a mouthful. I know. Still figuring it out for myself. This is the only medicine anybody needs right here. Okay? The only medicine you need right here. Nice. My grower is the fucking shit. I got the best grower in the state. I'm prejudiced. What do you think? This is Maine Borderliner. That's the name of the strain, is Borderliner. That's really pretty. Look, your life, at this point, is it worth living? Or are you just waiting for something to be worth dying for? Right? What's a life worth living if it ain't worth dying for? I don't like the way things are. At all. I really don't. Not one fucking bit. And all this understanding is driving me nuts because their plan is so fucking diabolical. I'm fucking. It takes a madman. You know how much fucking weed I had to smoke to figure this shit out? It's so multifaceted. You'd have to be knowledgeable in so many ways just to understand it. And when you do understand it, all you do is wind up crying for your fucking neighbor. Because they don't have a fucking clue. When I was younger, I used to think that when I got older, I'd be smart. So I always try to talk to old people. I never really liked talking to people my own age. Didn't really have anything of interest that I wanted to know about. They never said nothing that I wanted to listen to. So I was always smoking with old timers and always hanging out with old, even when I was a teenager. All my friends were in their 20s. I skipped high school to go to college. I was pretending to be a college student when I was a freshman in high school. I sat in a whole semester of psychology at the UMO. Raised my hand. Asking questions. I didn't like. I didn't. They couldn't teach me nothing. My father was wicked fucking smart, and I almost fucking hate him for being as smart as he was. I've it made him a hard man to deal with growing up. I understand him now. I don't hate him, but I mean, it's he was labeled as a town madman. Everybody's afraid of my father. My father look at you, eyeball you, you fuck about shit your pants. Psychotherapy sit-ins. My God. My first adventure wound me up catfished. I was 18. I was working at McDonald's. Coming out of closing shift and late night. And I was in a car and I got hit by a truck. Got hit by a truck. And it sent a car into a hydroplane right through the middle of the intersection, four-way intersection. And I don't even know how I got out of the car. I really don't. I don't remember. I jumped out. I opened the door. I got out. I threw myself out in the fucking road. I don't even remember. But I didn't stay in the car to find out what the fuck was going to happen. The engine block was in the passenger seat when I woke up from my little blackout. And I didn't show up for my job for a week, so they fired me. So I took my last paycheck and I got catfished in fucking Fargo, North Dakota. 30 miles like outside of Rossay, right on the state line, Minnesota and North Dakota. I was 18. I had $50 in my pocket. I went out there. I got fucking catfished big time. The woman that I went out there to meet represented herself as something that she wasn't, using pictures of somebody else that happened to be her roommate. That led to another story. That's not for. Exactly, Mike. I do have, yeah. My father was a hard man, but because of what he did to me early, I have a higher understanding now. Yes, I agree with you. But some of the things it doesn't matter to me. It's done. It's done. I don't have no relationship with him. I don't hate him. Don't want nothing from him. And I'm not going to let that crap define me. But I took the positive from it, the education, the value in with that alone is quite a bit. I look around at other people around me and I don't even feel like I'm fucking here. I don't even feel human. I feel like I'm a fucking alien or something. I can comprehend mathematical precision with this stuff. I can draw you any sound wave. Doesn't even matter the resonance pattern. Holy chipper. I've thought about it. I'll give you an example of what kind of man my father is. I'll tell you about a little thing. So my father owns the right of way to the whole private road that he lives on. And he's the last house in, so he owns the whole road. He owns the right of way because he's the last house on the lot. Just the way it was set up. And my father didn't contribute to my upkeep on the road or something. He wanted them to pay because he was plowing the whole thing. He plows the road and everything, and people weren't helping contribute the highway costs. So my father put up he put up a road barricade, shut down the highway. The guy came to my father at this time was 65 years old. This happened like 5 years ago. And this guy says, what would you do if your house burned down to the ground? Would you rebuild? My father looked at him and said, what? So why the fuck would you ask that? See? The intentions in people's minds. Why would you ask that question? Why are they asking the questions that they ask? Why are they presenting you the information that they're presenting you with? What is their intention in presenting you with the information or asking you a question? That alone will tell you a lot. Their intentions of their questions or their remarks. Why are they telling you the things that they're telling you? What is their motive? What is their motive? So my father said, well, if my house burns down, he says, I will burn your house down. And I will burn your house down with you in it. And I won't give a fuck. My father was 65 when he said that. Just to give you an idea. So, when you're being presented with information, is it being presented positive? Is it being presented negative? Is it neutral? What kind of person are they? Are they trying to get something from you? What do they want? What is their motive? What are they trying to make you feel? Why? Always look at those things when you're looking at new information or listening to anybody's fucking mouthpiece. And you don't have to feel any kind of way about shit. Well, all right, I'm off here. I did a good long feed here. Just hanging out. No, my father was talking about the government chipping people when I was 15 years old. And go look at Obamacare. Okay? Go look at Obamacare. RFID, remote frequency identification chips. RFID. Go fucking investigate. RFID. They're already in your ID. They're in your passports, your food stamp cards, your bank cards. RFID is a microchip. It's fucking in the strips and zips of your fucking clothes. They can stitch it into anything. It's the size of a fucking grain of rice. It's very cheap for them to produce. They fucking put it practically in everything. So everything has that fucking chip in it already in ways, shapes, and forms. And it looks like it's going to be forced through Obamacare. And I really think that they're going to not change Obamacare because of the mandates of chipping people that are in there. They already got it passed. It's already been approved. It's already in the law to chip everybody. Why the fuck would they change it? Just make it look like they are. Put up a big show. And then time runs out. Then they start forced shipping people. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be fucking sounding crazy, but come on. You know? Use your rational fucking thinking. Think thoughts through. If you know what the final piece of the pie is, where the end game ends, and where you're on in the middle, if you know what A and B is, and D is the fucking end point, then it's pretty easy to see C. You can figure out what C is. You know, and beware the sound, not just the words and the spellings, but the sound you're making. Listen to the syllables. The syllable counts and the word spells. That in itself is a lot. Sounds are spelled many different fucking ways. And this is a form of mental mind manipulation, and you need to fucking understand this shit. This is how they control you. I do these videos with no motive. I don't ask for anything. I don't get anything. I made a few good friends. I have a lifetime of knowledge and still a lifetime to go. What I figured out early is fucking priceless. And to everybody else, their lives. This shithole is a fucking shithole. You don't even understand. It's a fucking slave plantation. You're a fucking sheep. You're chattel. You're surety. You're bonded. You're a fucking bondsman. You're a slave. You're a Roman slave. You don't fucking own anything. You don't even own your own ass. You're registered surety for national debt. The Jew bankers keep inflating the value of their fucking printed money. And you work fucking more and more. And you make less and less. And you get taxed more and more. And you get less and less. Chasing money that used to be worth gold that now is worth oil, then there ain't no value in the oil anymore because they're going to free energy. They got trains in China and other countries that run on magnets, no cost. Cars, no cost, no oil. Our money's gonna fucking. This confidence, this Trump show, this boost in Wall Street, well, you look, it's all fucking top enders that are making that money. There ain't no one on the bottom. Ain't no trickle down. Ain't gonna trickle down. They're ballooning it up so they can draw it out and walk away from the bomb that's about to go off. I mean, you got, my gosh. I don't even know what to say. I just look at it and I'm like, is this really what's going on? Or am I in hell? Am I literally in hell and the world's upside down and we're worshiping Satan? Is that really what's going on? Are you being sent to school to worship the devil? Worship and pray with an E, not an A? Are you worshiping and praying to the devil? A neon nun? Neon is inverted nun. Neon, nun. Neon, negative, none light. No light. Dead light. Lucifer, morning star. Jesus, morning star. Eastern star, dog star, Cerebus. What is going on here? Okay? So Christ, the Jesus character, is a negative, neon, none. No God. It's a dead light. It's the sunlight. It's the negative light. You're being blinded by the negative so that you can't see the positive. You can't see the heart. You're being blinded by the negative so you can't see the positive. Blinded by the light. Who the hell sings that song? Kelly's singing in the background. Blinded by the light. Who sings it, Kelly? Come on, who sings that?
I don't know. I forgot. Old song.
All these musicians are telling you the same fucking shit. We're just two lost souls living in a fishbowl year after year. Hello. They're metaphysically describing the same fucking thing. Yeah. I'm with you, Randy. I'm right there with you, man. Except for the nude part. All right. I'm down for a colony, but I don't want to see anybody's nudity. Well, right, but you got to understand. You go, look, Obama's a fucking clone. Obama's a fucking clone. He's not even a real person. He's a fucking clone. And there's like 5 or 6 of them deep. They got an assembly row. That nigga keeps fucking dying. They keep having to pop out a new one. They got 4 or 5 Hillary Clintons and 3 Donald Trumps. You got no idea what's going on. You think you know. But I bet you probably never heard of the Pegasus program. I'd go look into Pegasus program before I would think any more about where you're at, buddy Craig. They're all just fucking meat suits. Meat suits! It's in the eyes, boys. It's in the fucking eyes. The eyes reveal the fucking villains in the world showcase. You can tell somebody's intentions, the light of their eyes. What side of the coin they're fucking serving. It's in the eyes. Are they alive? Are they dead? Exactly. I don't know who the fuck that is. Donald Marshall? Look, I'm nobody's pawn. Okay? Number one. Nobody's pawn. I don't want to work under anybody. Number two. Because I don't find many people that can even compete mentally with me. Nobody can run as fast as my mind runs that I have come across. And it's not ego, I'm being fucking literal. Been a lot of places, seen a lot of fucking people. I'm trying to be very humble. I really am. Well, I know too damn much. I have a proposition for people. I have concepts and ideas that are coming together very nicely right now. We're starting to see progress with lights and I'm actually getting contact and causing motors to turn with my magnetic theories. With my magnetic theories, I'm creating electricity as we speak. It's enough to see results, but it's not. I'm still hitting dead spots. Nothing to really. It's exciting for me because I'm physically seeing it, but it's nothing to like. Oh, this is not yet, but it's coming. I'm right fucking there. I'm right fucking there. I already got it figured out. I know why. No, I don't like most people either, Randy. But what I'm trying to propose to people is that if you actually go and look at Maine, you'll see that the northern half of the state is unorganized territory. It's fucking all woods. It's mountains. It's clean land. It's the cleanest water in the country. And because there's no industry, land up here is very cheap. Very cheap. When you buy large quantities of land, you can get it for under $1,000 an acre. You can get 800 to $1,000 an acre for land in northern Maine. 500 to 1,000, but you got to buy 20, 30 acres at a time. But that makes the average price per acre about $500-600 for an acre of land. You can get a 200-acre lot. That's bigger than most fucking cities for $100,000, under $100,000 for 200 acres. You don't have to see anybody. You don't have to live with anybody. It's 200 fucking acres. You got 30, 50 people living on 200 fucking acres. You don't have to see anybody. But that land is to be used as a way to provide for the whole people that live on it. I had a concept behind it before, and I called it a habitat for humanity. Humans helping humans, a habitat for humanity. I just started asking and questions, and I'm like, if you don't have to pay for lights, which is what I'm fucking been, my life's work has been in understanding this math and this art. If you don't have to pay for energy and you're living on your own land and you don't have to pay rent, no energy, and you're producing with your time your own food by growing it and sustaining grow houses, greenhouses, then what do you need money for? You see this? I showed you something. If you don't have to pay rent and you don't have to buy food because you're producing it and you're taking care of it, all these things you're materially taking care of for yourself through your own hand. Then what do you actually need money for? Food is a form of commodity which can be bartered with, as with alcohol or marijuana or anything else you can produce. It's not money that people want. That's the misconception. They want the things that money can bring them, the things that money can buy: food, drugs, alcohol, weed, stuff. Money's not important. It's just a medium that is universally agreed upon to trade with. That's what's important, is having a commodity to trade with. It's not money. If you're growing food, you can always sell food and produce money. Money is not what's important. It's what's agreed upon. That's right, Craig. Money needs us. That's the misconception. Control. Exactly. Exactly. And they charge interest on the printed money that they print. They charge it. The Federal Reserve charges it, the US Mint charges it, the bank charges it, and then they charge you. There's 4 fucking charges on your printed money. And it's fucking being controlled by 5 families. And they charge interest for that usury. They're turning you into printed paper. That's right. Because they don't know how to live off the ground. They don't know how to live on the land. They ain't ever physically had to do anything for themselves. They will be the first to die. And then the poll would turn on the rest. Eat the rich. That's what Aerosmith said. There's only one thing they're good for. Oh, my man. But I have a background in commercial construction. I have a trade certificate for underground excavating. Experience and knowledge in trenching, hydroblasting, underground wells, production. I believe that it could be very cost efficient and very easy to produce a living environment for a couple hundred people relatively fucking cheap. A self-sustaining environment. That once it was established, it would take very low maintenance to keep and sustain life. Love you. By making your home a living environment. Making your home work for you. We make our money work for us, we make our cars work for us. Well, why can't we make our homes work for us? Yeah. Yeah.
What's this table?
Somewhere between Waterworld and that Kevin Costner flick, The Postman. It'll be somewhere around there. That's what I'm picturing in my head. Red Dawn, Postman, Waterworld, Hunger Games, Terminator. That's kind of where it's at. You know, Google is Skynet. That's not a very Google is Skynet. Oh, and Uncle Sam's always watching. Even your fridge is watching you these days, I hear. Fridge, your TV, your house. But no, the induction experiments I've been doing the last couple of days have been proven very successful. I'm pretty stoked about this whole thing. I figured out how the ancients were creating electricity. They were using a cause and effect. They realized that by putting a positive and a negative together in a quantum state, they could create an effect that would create electricity. No moving parts required, just a mineral matter understanding. And we're not taught minerals, we're not taught colors, we're not taught sound, we're not taught a lot of fucking shit. We're not taught our culture, we're not taught our history. Oh. Well, I've had with my friends here, with a few friends, I have a debate going. I personally think the wall is just to keep us in. It ain't to keep them out, it's to keep us in. You can get that from some Pink Floyd videos that he's come out with before. I think the wall's to keep us in, like monkeys in a fucking barrel. You know, you think about sheep, right? And you say you lose, they all break out of your fence and they're all fucking running all over the place. Instead of chasing all of them, right? That's a lot of fucking energy. And that's a lot of time, right? It is. It's a lot of fucking time and it's a lot of energy to go chasing after a bunch of fucking sheep. So, what you do to catch all the sheep is you go out in the big pasture, and right in the middle of the pasture, you put some hay, and you just go away. And come back in the next day, put down some more hay. And a couple of days, just keep doing this. And every day, those sheep will just start coming over, and they'll start eating on it. And then they'll all be over there waiting for it. And while they're eating, every day, little by little, you build a fence around the pasture. While they're eating the hay, so one day, the wall comes down, and the gate's locked, and they're fucking trapped in that pasture. Wow. What if the walls keep us in? Wow. All right, you guys. Crystals, minerals, but how do they transform? How to use? Well, it's an understanding of the reaction, and then it comes down to a basic understanding of electricity and mechanics. and definitions of what is electricity. Electricity is motion. That's it. It's movement. Energy is movement. It doesn't matter how it's caused or what affects it to move. It, in most simplest terms, electricity is movement. Causing movement is electricity, or electricity is energy, and energy is motion. By putting two polarities together in an environment, that's cause. The effect is energy, static, polarity. You are causing two elements to be in the same environment that don't like each other. Everything has energy. Everything has a frequency. So by these two opposites being on inside a shape, a coil, a way to conduct, you're causing them to work together. For neodymium is not a produced magnet, it is a metal. It is a mineral. It is a rare earth mineral. Most people don't understand that. They don't even, or even heard neodymium or palladium. The electricity of it is different. It's a magnetism of its own kind. Through experiments, I can tell you that the magnetism through neodymium can pull through copper. It doesn't deflect. It goes through. So when the magnet doesn't actually stick to copper, but the energy of the magnet travels through the copper field and through the wall barrier of the copper. It doesn't stay trapped inside the pipe. It vibrates through. So you can cause a magnetic connection on the other side of it. But these two minerals don't like each other, and just two of them together causes friction. So by creating copper coil around a neodymium magnet, the fields are vibrating. And by using a coil, you're catching the vibration, which is allowing you to divert static energy right out of the air into a light bulb, into a battery, into household usable current. Exactly, the Baghdad battery, yes. That's what they were doing. They were using mineral content. Copper and soil. You go study the military. The ships are coated with green. It's not paint, it's copper. They ionize copper into a paint soluble, and they spray paint the fucking boats with a coat of copper. When the boat is gliding on the water, salt water is causing friction. And the friction from this is actually creating most of the electrical need requirements for the whole ship. Exactly. Everything is vibration. Yes. It's just yes. Once you know everything's in a vibration, then all you need to do is cause the vibration. Find a way to cause it by look, this is a simple concept. but it was getting a small amount of current, just tinkering. Okay, there's something pretty key. Okay, that's a little small scale thing I made. So that's your copper coil. It's triple bound. So there's no gaps between the copper and the iron. There's no gaps. The copper goes through the whole length, in and out. See, there's a line through the middle. So that the copper is ground inside the field and outside the field. By putting magnets inside of this, you're causing pressure, you're causing vibration, because the copper and the magnets, they don't like each other. And now you've put the magnetic energy field into the iron. You've displaced the magnetism into the iron, and it's trapped inside this shape, which is a copper coil system.
Okay. That's crazy.
Thank you, buddy. I don't dare put labels on what I understand. I'm afraid they'll take me away. Ha ha, he he, ho ho. I'm afraid they'll take me away. So what I'm working out now is through this understanding of these coils and these magnets. Now it's perfecting it into a workable. Need more. I don't have a lot of the magnets. I have a few of them. They're kind of expensive. It's $42,000 for a pound of palladium. So I mean, to get any source of amount of palladium is going to take me some time. I had no idea. Yeah. But it's just the understanding of this, the cause and effect. So now I'm working out a saltwater tank to incorporate many coils working together in a uniform system inside this tank that would be a salt-soluble solution that would cause a chemical reaction between the salt and the copper, and this reaction would be caused in a coil, and that coil will be the current, and it'll never stop. So this battery is not your traditional battery. This battery is actually creating electricity. It's not a chargeable battery. It's charging. And I believe, done correctly, this battery could charge your home, or several of them. You make several batteries on a grid to meet your power requirements. So I believe this could be built to spec. And so this is an infinite source of understanding of energy. It could be applied for transportation. It's amazing. No, that's platinum, Randy. Platinum is in the cars. Palladium is Palladium. Palladium. It's earth mineral number 60 or 6. Earth mineral 6. Another name for it is neodymium. Neodymium supermagnets. Just go on YouTube and type in neodymium magnets, copper effect.
Maybe it's just me.
Copper, and you start looking around. Star shapes and coil effects with these copper coils. The results are It's practically common knowledge in some circles how this works.
No.
In some aspects, and some of them have it right, and it's like when you're buying a bag of weed. Some people got weed everywhere in Maine, okay? And everybody's friend has got somebody that's got weed for sale. And that's fine, right? I have no problem with that. But like everybody's weed's always got a problem with it. There's some seeds in it, some stems in it, it's fucking wet, it's too dry. There's always a fucking problem. There's hardly anybody that ever does it right. They don't have the patience to do it right. And that's what I'm seeing when it comes to this understanding of mathematics with these mineral understandings. They just don't understand. They don't have all the pieces. You see people playing with it all over the place, but they don't have a spiritual understanding of it. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They just randomly putting some shit together like a 100th monkey syndrome. Ooh, ooh. Like they opened a banana for the first time. But they don't know what the hell they're talking about, what it is. Yeah. Yeah, so, well, that's the next step is I have to get some electrolysis equipment. I want to start experimenting with that part. I don't have any of this stuff. I'm just figuring this stuff out. I've never done chemistry in my whole fucking life. Now I have to go get a chemist set. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? The only reason I'm even willing to go into it is I had 2 years of liquid measurements when I was 12 years old. How to measure with liquid form. That's a weird thing to be taught at 12. Now it comes into use. Oh man. But no, it's just mineral content and needing a couple tools. But you guys have a good night. Oh my gosh, I've been on here for a minute. I'd love to have people come up here and collectively work on this. I can't do it by myself. My hands are broke. My back's fucking broke. I had the mind to put it together. I don't have the hands to do it. I don't have the mechanical experience to build it. You know, I have the math. I understand the why and the how. And I want to see change. I want to help make it happen. I don't have no fucking motives. I don't want anything. I just don't like the world we're living in. And I'm not going to be silent. And I'm not going to fucking consent. And this is me not consenting by speaking, by making noise. I never wanted to be a fucking public speaker, be a public face. I'm just like, somebody's fucking got to do it. This shit's fucking madness. It needs to fucking stop. I look into Earth ships, you know. There's a guy in Arizona building them right now. Living houses and earthships. I'm not saying his idea is 100% right for the climate here, but just the idea of it, and rethink what we're working with and how we think about things. We don't think fucking right. We don't think about what things could be, what they might be, what you could turn them into. We don't think like that. We don't have no curiosity anymore. We don't question anything. We don't challenge no authority. Too afraid to ask a fucking question. Is it because we're too afraid we'll get the right answer or the wrong one? Anyways, love for my family. You guys have a good night.